OpenClaw is like a Rubik's Cube. It looks super cool on the outside. Then when you actually play with it, it looks like this, kind of confusing and crazy, and you're like, how do I do it? And then you just got to know the right algo, and it's super cool again. All right, so in this video, we are going to go through the Rubik's Cube of OpenClaw. Now, OpenClaw is much easier to solve than a Rubik's Cube, but not really, actually. You see, it's like everything. The first time you try it and work with it, it's like, oh, I can do anything. Oh my gosh, it connects to WhatsApp and it connects to my Telegram. And then you try to get to do more stuff and you're like, oh no, 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 no. Now, by the time you watch this video, hopefully a lot of that has been solved by a lot of dashboards. But today, in February of 2026, it is not the easiest thing to configure and use. But if you have a real life use case, it helps. So I want to pick a use case that I think a lot of us can relate to in the world where software development is just changing so quickly and jobs are changing so quickly. Getting a job with OpenClaw. Let's just set it up with that task in mind. So in this is 100 days with OpenClaw. We're going to go through every single day. I'm going to log how I'm using OpenClaw, and I'm going to start with this simple tutorial. It's going to be an introductory into OpenClaw. There will be a blog that I will share that's actually being managed by me and OpenClaw. So it's posting too, and I'll be posting, and it'll get weird. But each day on the weekdays, I'll post exactly what I'm doing and how it's working, and I'll also be posting to Twitter. It's posted to Twitter too right now as well, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So without further ado, let's just get into it and let's just get some relevant jobs that are available right now. Let's see if we can pull that information, and let's interface with OpenClaw, and let's see if we can get it to do it in the background for us and what that looks like and how it remembers us, and let's just see it working. Now, I'm not going to go through like all of the setup stuff. There's so many videos out there. They're not that great actually. So maybe I will make a setup video, but I just want to hop in for the people who kind of like, I installed OpenClaw. I want to get it to do something. I want to make it work for me. So let's do it. Now, once you have OpenClaw installed, and I assume you've already done that, the main command that you're going to need, I'm going to zoom in as I use things. So, okay, I'm here. All right. I'm on my MacBook, right? And I have OpenClaw. You should be able to call this command. Boom. And it just tells you what's up, how to use it. All right. So you're here. You're going to hit OpenClaw TUI. All right. And so now I'm in my OpenClaw. Now, for job hunting, if you're looking for, you get this UI here, I'm going to just say, hey, what are some of the latest jobs from, well, let's say latest jobs that are related to software dev. So it's going to run. I'm probably going to edit this so that it just gives you the answer. I'm using a slower model because I don't want to pay a lot of money. Now, one of the biggest things that people complain about is that they use Anthropic's Claude, Opus, or a Sonnet, and that's really expensive. I've done simple calls that have costed me, I don't even know, like $2, which is ridiculous. So I'd rather pay a penny instead of $2 or a few pennies. And so, yeah. So here we go. Search software development jobs. Here we go. Now, where did these come from? Well, I created a tool. Let me say, oh, can I have the links, please? Oh, no, okay. So, perfect. This one didn't use the right tool. No, use your tool. So now it's going to actually use the tool. I have a job search tool that I've trained it to use. Okay, check your, and this is what people talk about, like, oh, I can't use OpenClaw. It doesn't work. Oh, it sucks so much. Yes, this is exactly what people are talking about. You put a dumber model in. I'm using Llama 3.3 70B, but it can do it. You just have to be able to talk to it right. So for example, right now I have in here, I think, a special folder I put in mine called My Tools. Here is a job search folder, and it uses Remotive. So I'm going to say search on Remotive. That's the keyword it's looking for. using the job search skill. All right, so now it will actually do the thing that it's supposed to do. When I told it, because I created a new chat that had no memory, latest jobs related to software dev. So it just went online and searched for that, which is not helpful at all. I asked for the links and it gave me these links for Upwork and ZipRecruiter. And then over here, yeah, search on remote. Here are the job listings. Boom, there it is. So now it's actually showing stuff that I want to see. Oh, look at this. Huh, that looks pretty interesting. Let's see. Let's search for recent things in sales or, and can you check out marketing as well? Now, Remotive is a platform that allows you to find all kind of stuff before it goes on LinkedIn. They have all these kind of partnerships and stuff, and they have a public API. So I basically built a tool. Now, how did I build that tool? And that's what I want to talk about. Now, one of the things that people, there's a lot of drama around. There's a lot of drama around this platform, Claw Hub, because it's full of malware. I do not recommend downloading things from here. I don't download anything from here, because if you download these tools, a lot of them have executables and all kind of weird stuff, and people have gotten a lot of things stolen from them. So personally, I say go to ChatGPT, go to Gemini, and build your own tools. So for example, I have this Perplexity tool. I just went to ChatGPT and I said, look, build me a Perplexity node CLI, right? And allow me to just, let me pull this up. And it builds it like this, look. And it puts the information about how it works, right? And then it pulls in my credentials from my .m file. And then it built a whole script. So now it can just follow these commands, my OpenClaw. As long as you have this information up here, use my Perplexity key, whatever, here's how you search. So when I ask for latest news or like an advanced question, it then goes to Perplexity and it uses my own tools. I won't install them from somewhere else, okay? So let's go back. So let's scroll down here. Look at this, more cool stuff. So I can look through these. The cool thing is I can just keep adding more tools. And the more tools you add, the better it gets. Now, what I've hooked it up to so far is I've got it connected to, well, most importantly, I got it connected to my new Trello board. This is pretty cool. So now you're looking for a new job or you're searching for something, you need a project management tool. Trello is amazing for that, just because you can manage all your tasks, all things you got going on. So this is just an example one, but for example, I can say, hey, what's going on in my Trello today? And then it's linked up and it'll go to, let me go back to this. It will go over here. So here are my skills. Skills are things that it needs to know how to do. How to use Hashnode, how to use Gmail, how to use WhatsApp. And then they also can be stored here in your workspace. These are local. So I also have a skills file in here, and it has even more stuff. So this is where actually why I got confused earlier, because the skill for job search is here in the workspace and not global, which I'm gonna fix that right now. So this is a little hack. I always do this. So I'm gonna take that skill, I copied it. I'm gonna take it to skills. I'm gonna promote it up here. So just added that one. That's a hack, guys. It will save you from what I just experienced. Just have a skills folder right here in OpenClaw, put it there. If you have OpenClaw running in the cloud, it could be a little bit more complicated depending on what kind of access you have. I recommend not using droplets or anything like that from DigitalOcean. Just make sure you have full control. Don't buy one of those packaged ones. They don't work well because you want OpenClaw from chat over here to be able to update this. And don't worry, there's so many backups, and I make a lot of backups. So the other thing is with your OpenClaw, take this folder, back it up, copy it, zip it up, and then upload it to your Dropbox or whatever. Well, to wherever you think is secure, right? So some people say, oh, Dropbox is not secure, Google Cloud's not secure. Well, whatever you think is secure, back it up. It'll have all your keys in it, so don't just put it anywhere. But it also keeps backups, so you can run a thing called Doctor and you can fix it, all that stuff. But you have to be able to have this set up. Now, I don't keep all of my credentials in credentials. I keep it over in my tools, and it's directly in the .m files over here. Now, if someone gets access to this, it will stink. So security is super important. That's why I don't go around installing these random tools from these, where are these random tool people? Yeah, don't get these, because they'll put commands and they'll get access to all of your stuff. So if you want to have an agentic bot, you need it to, like, this has access to my Gmail, for example. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So it wants to know about which Trello board, yeah, for today, of course. And then, so what I need to do is I asked what's going on my Trello today, and it said, okay, you got this much task, you got this many members, you got this going on. Well, yeah, but like I asked about today. So yeah, make first OpenClaw video, checking, launch YouTube channel. Gonna do that today. Really cool, right? Yeah, I'm working on a really cool writing skill tool to help it write better for its blog, because right now, the blog that it's building, pull this up over here, the blog that it's building and it's posting to is here, about its own journey, which I'll put in the description. But I would like it to be better. I just, it could have a better, cooler writing style. And what we'll keep posting in here are all the things that happen throughout the day. Like today, I'm gonna take this issue and we're gonna post it as a thing. All right, so it knows about that. Well, what about my email? Oh, actually, I don't want everyone to see my email, but I'll say send a message to my same email that's sending this and say hello. I don't know, I don't know, something simple. But the key is all of these things standalone are like not that interesting, but it's because you can connect and you can say, well, send an email to do this or to do that or to do this, and you could do it all together and link them all together is the cool thing. Oh yeah, there's a message for me, and it says hello. Great. All right, and like let me see. Oh, Boardy. So there's this really cool tool. I don't know if you know, it's on WhatsApp called Boardy. Boardy is an AI who connects you with people that might be interesting. So I'm doing a lot of OpenClaw stuff now. So I said, hey, Boardy, can you connect me? So it said, hey, check out this guy, check out this guy. I've created an introduction, and I've met really great people through Boardy. So he's another AI. So that I can say, send Boardy a WhatsApp and ask him if he knows some cool people I could meet in Amsterdam who are working on OpenClaw. All right, let me see. So I'll send this message over to Boardy so he knows, because what he's doing is, first, let's talk about how he's working. Oh, you see the message over there. Hey, Boardy, do you know someone cool in Amsterdam working on OpenClaw? And then Boardy's getting back to me. And then I could say, do the email. Let me think about who in my network might be cool. And yeah, so now, see, I'm AI talking to an AI. So now Boardy's doing his thing. Now, what if I want this to contact Boardy once a day? I can say, set up a cron job to message Boardy every day and ask him for the status of what's the latest in my industry, specifically OpenClaw, and who might be interesting to chat with. All right, so that's going to happen now every day. It's going to set up this cron job. Cron jobs can be seen if you always want to keep another tab open over here. So I'm going to go to OpenClaw. Now, by the way, remember, I'm using a really cheap model. I like to go, so I'm on Together. Yep, has been set up every day. Cool. Let me just show you this. So I use Together. Very cool. You can find models for, I think for Opus, for 1 million tokens, it's like $15, but it's only $1 for 1 million tokens with a lot of these models that are just as good, that are reasoning models. You just want models that can use tools. Llama 4 Maverick cannot use tools well, so don't go through that headache, but 3.370 billion parameters, it can. So you can click on it, you can get information about the pricing. Yeah. Oh, look, they lowered the price. It's 88 cents per 1 million tokens. So I'm not paying a lot for this versus all the other people who are using Claude code. And if you are going to use Claude code, create new sessions every time. Just have everything saved in memory, because otherwise you're going to spend way too much money. Okay, so I messaged Bordy. Bordy's, over here trying to introduce me to some people. I accept. This guy seems pretty cool. Based in Amsterdam? Yeah, sure. And I'll meet this guy too. Introduction? Sweet. Thanks, Bordy. All right, cool. So that was cool. Got some introductions, found some, opportunities. Let me go back over here and talk about the workspace area, because this is really important. So you got heartbeat, which is what it will do every 30 minutes or so. Identity is everything about you. As it learns, it'll put information about you. Agents is stuff that you want your agent to be doing. Soul is like the vibe, like who is the person who's talking to you. Tools is really important because it keeps up with how all of your tools work. So let me open up this one. Tools is really important. We got tools.md, and you can see here, look, WhatsApp here, Bordy, send to anyone, how to send the messages, Gmail, how to do it, to put from, who I am, send messages, list my inbox. And so it's always updating these. This is how it knows where to go to find things, and it also knows my tool path. This is my OpenClaw, my tools, and use Twitter, tweet stuff. Let's tweet something. Tweet that great things are imminent. Oh, I cannot spell imminent. Oh no, that's not right. Oh my gosh. Imminent. Is that right? I hope it's right. It doesn't feel right. What? How did I spell it? I-M-M-I-N-E. Yeah, what? No. I-E-I-M. Yes, imminent. Whew. Yes, I win. All right. Tweet has been posted. Now it's supposed to give me an ID for that tweet. Let me see if it actually posted that tweet. All right. Here we go. New. Yes, great things are imminent. Wonderful. So it's when you start linking these things in together that interesting things start happening. But yeah, so I got Bordy. So you've learned a little bit. So what have I actually helped you understand? So in your workspace, you have tools.md that keeps up with a lot of stuff. User.md that keeps up with you. I'm not going to show you my user.md. Soul.md that tells you like what the vibe of it is. Memory that keeps up with important things. So whenever something important happens that I want it to incorporate, quite regularly into the prompt, I put it in here. Always keep up with this over here. 17%. If you're 22,000 tokens on OpenClaw, you're going to spend way too much money. I'll go into all of this later. I'm trying to create like this intro video that actually helps people do something. But essentially, look, you want to create the tools. You create the cron jobs. If you go over here and click OpenClaw, so this is just command over here, dashboard. It'll open up a dashboard, and then I can just see what's going on. Look, and I can actually see a little bit more robustly like how it was executing and doing things. And then over here in cron jobs, I can see my cron jobs. I got 4. I can cancel them or whatnot. Skill improvement. So I'm having it iteratively improve every day. So I have a skill. I'm working on a thing to make it better every day. I think that's really important for OpenClaw. You want to make it improve its memory, make it improve everything. And yeah. So I don't like how it did this job. So I'm going to make it smarter. So let me show you this. I'm going to go over here. So for simple stuff like what I just did, you can do that. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set this to Anthropic Sonnet 4.5. I could do 4.6. It's smarter, and Opus 4.6 even smarter. But it's now updated my .json, which is over here. All right, so that's all the way down over here. So this keeps all of your, okay, before I show any of my keys or do anything, this is your openclaw.json. So I have all of these models I can choose from. So I have these fallbacks and these models. So you can select which models, and it has your default model. So primary, so look, it just moved it to here. It changed it to that one. Right? I hope no one can read any of that stuff up there. Yeah. I've now updated. So then what you do is you do, let me zoom in. All right. Then what you do is a gateway restart. So I'm going to restart my gateway. And now this is going to be, everything's going to stop a little bit. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, I don't love how that last cron job was set up. I want more context. Okay, cool. This one's a bit smarter. It's got 17, it's got a lot of tokens, so it might, the problem is they give you a 30,000 token limit by default. I'm giving it the conversation context, which I probably didn't even need to do. So I'm burning through tokens right now. I get super nervous because it's just using up. It's just spending my money right now. But when you want something done really, really proper, or like your dumber model isn't working very well, just switch over, use it, and you can play with it like that. So it's trying to do it. I can go over here to chats sometimes. Okay, here we go. Perfect. I've set up a daily cron job. Run. Isolated session. Announce the results back to you tomorrow around the same time. Okay. Now, he should have removed the other one. He did. I still have only 4, right? Perfect. Look, see? Smart. And he did it right. Like, this is what I want. Right? I want something more robust in how, like, context. The other one didn't do it. And I'll also say here, can you put in the relevant place for cron jobs to just be a bit more robust? I talked to a not so as smart model earlier and told it to do something similar, and it just didn't hit the mark like you did. Can you update how we do cron jobs to make sure that they are clearer and not just like one-liners? Okay, so because I wanted to improve. And so you have to give feedback to OpenClaw and just go through this process. And I give the feedback and do configurations. I use Claude Sonnet 4.5. I think it's smart enough to do it. But then when I'm actually just doing stuff, I just do it with the other one. So configuration, do it with Claude Sonnet, but everything else, do it with Llama 3.370 beat parameters. You're spending almost nothing. It's so cheap. You just, thousands of requests per day, doing all kind of things, searching for stuff for you. So anyways, that's just the beginning of this. We'll have a more robust video on specifically doing the job hunt and getting everything set up, more cron jobs, better tooling, more resources, more tools. And yeah, welcome to the journey, 100 days of OpenClaw. Here we go.